Sog.
What's up, my dudes and ladies? Welcome to episode 2 of the MacSog Adventure International Custom Outfit Challenge, where I create my take of the original G.I. Joe outfit sets from 1970 to 1975. And on this journey, we will be using as a guidebook the collectible G.I. Joe, an official guide to his action-packed world, with the blessing by none other than the author of the book himself, Daryl the Priest. On our first episode, we took on the iconic secret mission to Spy Island. It's been a while since I made an outfit set like that, and I gotta say it got my old custom shop mojo going again. And so here we are with my latest attempt to do justice to another beloved set from the vintage G.I. Joe line. So we once again turn to page 68 and we see our challenge for this episode, the G.I. Joe Dangers of the Depth set. This must have been a real popular set because Hasbro released this, to my knowledge, 4 times. First, as part of the 1969 Painted Hair era Adventures of G.I. Joe series. Second, in the 1970s Fuzzhead era for the G.I. Joe Adventure Team. Third, as part of the Mike Power The Atomic Man line as Dive to Danger. And finally, in the early 2000s, under the G.I. Joe Classic Collection Retro Style Adventure Team line. The Danger of the Depth set in its first 3 iterations changed very little. The set consisted of the infamous rubber orange scuba suit, goggles, vinyl shark, fins, scuba tank, diver buoy, harpoon gun, knife and sheath, and a mini sled with a small motor and propeller. Now on with the custom outfit challenge. This custom outfit will be built for our G.I. Joe figure of the day. Meet Kurt Taylor, a 1970s man of action. Kurt, as of today, is officially a designated technical diver recruited by Adventure International after his service in the U.S. Navy as a SEAL combat diver. I've had a long, hard think about how I'm going to build this set. So, Danger of the Depth. Our hero goes diving for something under the water and runs into quote-unquote danger. Apparently the itty-bitty shark. The danger part I've got covered, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what I came up with. As for the scuba suit, all of us know that the vintage rubber scuba suit is pretty much hot garbage. It falls apart even in untouched mint packaging. For that reason, I'm going with a stretch fabric, a 1mm thin neoprene material. I had to be careful to balance the fit of the suit or risk making the figure too bulky, and had to adjust the pattern a couple of times till I was happy with the results. There are about 5 pieces that make up this scuba suit: the hood, jacket, pants, and neoprene boots. This is the first time I've worked with this material, and I really like it. It cuts beautifully and feeds into the sewing machine with no problem. I chose white to pay homage to classic films like Around the World Under the Sea, Fantastic Voyage, which is a sci-fi film, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, my favorite out of the 3, where they actually use white scuba suits. I've also sewn in yellow stripes to give it that retro adventure team look. Now let's dive into our custom-made diving gear. You might have caught this harness system used on my other custom adventure team equipment. It's a modular system I designed for accessories from pack radios to jetpacks. I call it the AEHS, or Adaptable Equipment Harness System, or ACE as it's pronounced. It features a standard waffle pattern shoulder pads, heavy suspension harness straps, padded utility belt with added secondary belt system for diving weights. That basically means there's two belts running through the padded pieces, one to run the weights and the other being the main utility belt. The diving weights are 3D printed parts by Jeff Shearer of Skunkworks Studio. I picked up a set of these diving belts on eBay and used the weights to use on my diving belt. The harness is made with a nylon fabric as usual. It's not an easy fabric to work with at first, but with the right technique, it makes for the perfect material for soft goods equipment, like backpacks and utility pouches. I used the gray and mustard yellow color scheme throughout, as you can see. By the way, the Adventure Team patches you see on my custom gear are all embroidered and machine sewn in and are made by Dave Tedesco and also by Mr. Ken of William Bell Antiques. For accessories, I've elected to add the following. Let's go from top to bottom. For the face mask, I was able to find several of these full-face diver's masks. I wanted this diver to be able to speak into the mask, so I had to find something that covered the whole face. This one I believe is from a company called Leonard from their Ultra Core line. I basically removed the original straps and made an adjustable one in my color scheme. The scuba tank is a G.I. Joe piece from the Hall of Fame series. I remembered having these and thought the detail would make for a convincing mixed gas / rebreather setup a technical diver would use. I removed the original elastic straps, repainted and detailed it, and added hoses for the buoyancy compensator bladders that will go into these pouches. I also added a control unit that is attached to one of my custom coiled wires. And no diver would be caught without a dive watch, so I've added one. Again, from the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame series. On his left side hip hangs a sample collection net bag with 3 glass sample bottles I got from a local craft store. I designed the bag imagining that he might have to catch something alive and potentially venomous that likes to bite or sting, so a protective pad was added to protect the diver from such creatures. Lower on his right leg will be this diver's knife from a company called MNC Toy Center from their Power Team line. I removed the belt hanger, repainted the sheath, and added the padded nylon harness. All the quick release buckles like this on my builds are functional, by the way. For the swimming fins, I had to find something that would go over the neoprene boots I made, so I had to source one with an open rear end. So I went again for an MNC piece that I painted white with a special paint that is formulated to bond to vinyl and made an ankle harness. One never knows where the mission will take us. The waters could be warm or cold. In this case, we have things covered for colder waters with the addition of white gloved hands from Cotswold. The original Dangers of the Depth set no doubt took inspiration from the Jacques Cousteau ocean documentaries for the mini sled. It was a fabulous piece of kit, and there's no way I'm not adding one to this custom. By coincidence, I ended up picking the mini sled from the 2002 version Dangers of the Depth set. I just picked out details with paint to match it to the scuba tank and clear coated everything in semi-gloss. This sea sled is a perfect accessory to counter the last major component I'm adding to this set to complete its theme. It has a launching missile feature that I've painted to look like a mini torpedo. And to make it even more badass, I was able to mount a clamp that perfectly holds the harpoon gun like it was made for it. I used a plastic cable anchor I got from the hardware store. Look at that. It clicks in perfectly without any strain on the clamp. The harpoon tube diameter is exact. I love it. This diver can carry his entire loadout with no problem, unlike the original set. Now let's see this set fully assembled. I present to you my rendition of the G.I. Joe Danger of the Depths Adventure Team set. I wanted this to look like an advanced technical diver's rig and keep it toy-centric at the same time. Now these customs aren't meant to suggest that this is how Hasbro should make their sets. The originals were great sets and has a charm all their own. My customs are more akin to concept cars. I make them to explore the possibilities of what could have been. The challenge of coming up with my versions of these classic G.I. Joe sets has been a lot more fun than I imagined. I don't think I would have made these outfit sets even for myself if it wasn't for this custom outfit challenge. The classic set from the 70s seems well-rounded. It made me realize that most of what's in my collection, which are predominantly customs of my own, wasn't as diverse as I previously thought. I can't wait to see it as I complete more of these custom outfit challenges. This set is called Danger of the Depths. So now we need to address the pick for the danger part of the set. I searched for the largest scale shark that would do this set justice, but then I thought, Rob, so far you've been thinking outside the box with this custom, so why stop now? I'm hoping to get lucky with this build and it comes in just in time for this video. And yes, it does. This is the new Mattel Super Colossal Mosasaur from the new Jurassic Park Rebirth movie. This thing measures a whopping 36 inches long, and it easily passes for one of the smaller species of mosasaur, like Thalassotitan, that grew to about 32 feet. It is definitely an imposing creature that, fictional or not, would be a dangerous man-eater at this size. So there you have it. This is my custom rendition of the G.I. Joe Adventure Team Danger of the Depths set. I have to say that this series is making me grow as a customizer. I'm really enjoying the problem-solving aspect as well, and how my imagination goes into overdrive. And once again, I'd like to extend my thanks to Daryl DePriest for allowing me to officially use his book, The Collectible G.I. Joe, an official guide to his action-packed world, for our custom outfit challenge series. My next challenge is to take on our first sci-fi themed set, the G.I. Joe Adventure Team Hidden Missile Discovery. Don't forget to watch today's set in action in a diorama at the end of the video. This is Robert for Max Sog Adventure International. I'll catch you on the next video.
Somewhere in the Pacific, 170.8 meters below the ocean surface, Adventure International is investigating the wreckage of a long-lost Spanish galleon, the St. Marcus Lucia. As Kurt Taylor, a highly experienced technical diver, approaches the wreckage, he comes upon the remains of a salvage diver that was rumored to have been lost during an attempt to find the lost galleon back in 1953. Stories of the ill-fated expedition describes the crew as having to abandon a diver or risk losing the entire ship to a sea monster. The diorama captures a snapshot of the moment our adventure team diver learns a horrible truth.
It's a real-life sea monster. Poor bastard. You found the treasure, but the guardian of the Marcus Lucia refused to let you take it. My mini sled. I'll use the seismic survey torpedo to stun this overgrown sea lizard and make my getaway.